Welcome back to Texas. More than halfway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has the lead. He's moved up from 40th to 11th in points in the last 4 races. And let's quickly recap how he got here. A star-studded lineup through the race today. Pole sitter Jeff Gordon went 146 laps, more than all of his previous 12 races combined at Texas, leading 52 straight in this race. Meanwhile, Tony Stewart, who called his car junk early and then said, scraping the wall there, this car is not so bad, has threatened to lead. But Junior came from 12th on lap 154 to take the lead. It's been 32 races since Junior's last win. He won in Richmond last year. And our Domino's race summary shows 9 different lead changes, 6 leaders, an impressive group of leaders. As right now it's Junior, Gordon, Jimmy, Kurt Busch, and then Jeff Burton and Jeff Hammond, the largest green flag run, or the lengthiest, I should say, 66 laps. And based on where Junior is, holding serve after that last pit stop, a key to the rest of this race.
I think it's a key to the rest of the race. I think the pits crews have got to be on for the remainder of this race. They've got to make the right kind of adjustments. You know, Larry McReynolds talking about keys to winning this race. Make sure you make the right pits, keep it up the track. But the key right now also could be engine durability. As we get further in this race, it really starts to take its toll on these engines.
Let's rejoin Darrell, Larry, and Mike.
153 to go here, and Junior leads Jeff Gordon by just 0.7 of a second. Not what you'd call a comfortable lead.
No, but it's kind of the ebb and flow of this race. Jeff Gordon dominates for a while. Junior's going to dominate for a while. It's the team that can figure out what to be, where to be at the end of this deal with the right changes and adjustments that's going to be in victory circle.
And Larry, how do you get around to deciding what does that car want next?
Well,
because that'll be the decision that wins the race.
Yes, it will. I mean, what you've done, you have gathered data through this entire race. And you go back to that notebook like Darrell was talking about earlier, and what you're going to continue to do is get information from that driver. What was it like the first 10 or 15 laps of a run? What was it like late in the run? And that'll help you make the decisions.
You always know when you're at one of Bruton Smith's tracks. We're not worthy. They just sent over a big plate of shrimp cocktail, and here come the Dove bars. Folks in the pits, we'll send some along. It'll be a little bit.
This is a rare thing for us, though.
Yes. Trouble on Matt Kenseth.
Well, he had a problem with the right rear yesterday that almost took him out of the show.
Dick Bergman.
Well, he may have a flat left rear tire right now. They're not sure what's going on. The crew is not yet up on the wall, but he has radioed his concern, Kenseth has.
And Dick, he's running in the 7th position right now. See right behind him, Reed Sorensen in that 41 car. That's a battle for position. Speaking of battle for position, Jimmy Johnson in the 48 has caught his teammate Jeff Gordon in the 24. They're about 3/4 of a second behind leader Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about on the 24 car. He's been losing time after every pit stop. He was running in the 30, 80s, and 90s. Last time out, he was running in the 31 flats. Now he's running 31-20. They're not keeping up with the racetrack.
Dave Blaney moves up and out of the way of the lead lap cars. Steve?
And Mike, we've been talking about those adjustments. The problem for Jeff Gordon, he's been staying tight for most of the race, but now he's loose getting in the corners.
That's what happens. When you're tight off, you keep taking wedge out, making changes to help the tight off. All of a sudden, the thing is spinning out, getting in the corner.
40% of you said Jeff Gordon would get his first Texas win today. Of course, we did pose the question before Dale Jr. took the lead away.
And Mike, something else, this racetrack very well in the last 50 to 75 laps as we get down to those last 1 or 2 pit stops. It may go through some other transition going the other direction. I think we'll start getting some shade down in turn 1 and 2. That's going to cool the track down. That's going to make it go through some changes. Now, a battle, I know we've been watching battles for first, battles for second, third, but a battle that I've been watching all the way back in about the 15th position, right in front of our leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., is 3 cars fighting to stay on the lead lap. Teammates David Strimmy and Juan Pablo Montoya, as well as Brian Vickers in an 83 car. All those guys are on the lead lap. How Montoya got back that far, you made the note a while ago, Mike. A 27-second pit stop took him from a half a lap down to almost getting lapped.
I tell you, Junior's having a tough time, though, with these cars. It's really costing him, and Gordon's closing back up on him. Junior's car doesn't look like it's quite as good as it was.
The reason Montoya's stop was so long, rookie mistake. He pulled in too close to the pit wall for them to be able to change the left side tires quickly.
And Mike, you and Daryl and I sat down with Juan about a month and a half ago, and he was very honest in saying one of the things he's struggling with still is pit road. He's not used to 40-something cars being on pit road at one time and guys jumping across a wall at him.
Formula One, he's not used to having 2 cars on pit road at the same time. His young teammate, though, is having quite the day. Reed Sorensen has flirted with the top 5. He's currently in 7th place, but watch this gaggle that he was in a moment ago.
Used Robbie Gordon, the 7, as a pick to get by Greg Biffle in the 16 car. Greg Biffle in the 16, that was a battle for position with Reed Sorensen in the 41.
Best career finish of 5th. He's got a chance to match or exceed that today. 144 laps to go in Texas. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading Jeff Gordon by 0.8 of a second.
NASCAR Next Cup Racing on Fox is sponsored by Wendy's new 4-alarm spicy chicken sandwich. By the auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. By Singular, now the new AT&T. And by Toyota, moving forward.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading Jeff Gordon by 2 seconds. We go all the way back to lap 1 for Allstate Good Hands
Go inside,
driver,
inside, way inside.
Whoa, whoa,
whoa.
Had to miss a crowd of spinning race cars. But on behalf of Sauter, Allstate will donate $1,000 to the Urban Youth Racing School. Allstate, official insurance sponsor of NASCAR. Are you in good hands? Jeff Gordon has his hands full. Jimmy Johnson has been all over him lap after lap and cannot get by.
They just put Brian Vickers in the mix. He just went a lap down. But I think he's just reminding his old teammates that, you know, we used to be teammates.
Of course, Brian Vickers trying to stay the very first car 1 lap down. If we do get a caution here with 137 laps to go, he would be back on the lead lap. He actually got the free pass a little earlier in the race.
You know, he and Doug have done a great job. Once they get in the race, their car is usually pretty competitive. Doug Ricker.
Side by side for second. Johnson may prevail. Nope, Gordon gets a good run up off the corner, and they're dead even middle of the backstretch once again.
Timmy will get him here, though.
This picks up right about where it left off at Martinsville. Positions reversed. Jimmy's good in the middle, and Jeff is good coming off the corner.
And one reason Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, is so good coming off the corner, he's running that high line. He can keep the engine wound up there, the RPM up.
Yeah, they'll swap. You take the bottom, I'll take the top.
Jeff Burton behind them by about 3/4 of a second, and then Kurt Busch, the highest running Dodge in the race. His number 2 is 5th. Let's go to his pit.
Earlier in the race, you heard Kurt Busch say he's a baseball fan. Well, this year he has been swinging for the fence, but he has had a lot of home runs taken away. Good runs in Daytona, Las Vegas, Atlanta, but no good results. Well, the forecast starting to look that way a little bit for this fantastic car. Kurt just got on the radio and said the changes they made are not making me turn any better. In fact, they're making me loose, snapping loose on the straightaway. Dick Berggren.
Well, Greg Biffle has engine problems. He has just sent to the crew the information that the engine is skipping, and before that he said he thought it was starting to get ready to blow up.
We talked about that at the top of the show. This place is very, very hard on engines, and we just had talked about a car that was running in the top 10, Reed Sorensen in the 41 car. I'm sure we'll find out what exactly his problem was, but he has taken his car to the garage here. He came down pit road, never hesitated. We are hearing that it was an engine failure on the 41 car.
And we're averaging almost 150 miles an hour in this race, and we haven't had very many cautions, and that just keeps those engines wound up that much longer.
We do need to make note that Sterling Marlin in the 14 car, Kyle Petty in the 45, David Reagan in the 6, they are back out on the racetrack now after having problems earlier.
Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson fight for second. I wonder if that's a little bit of back at you after 2 weeks ago at Martinsville. We'll explore that in a bit. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is your leader by 1.4 seconds, Steve.
And Mike, he's having a lot of fun right now. His pit crew has just had back-to-back sub-13-second pit stops. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. just told his crew chief, Tony Eury Jr., I don't know if the high side is faster, but it sure is fun.
I like it when I'm having fun, boys.
Dale Jr. stock going up. He is in a renewal year and right now in contract negotiations with his team.
Back in Texas, 125 laps to go. It's NASCAR on Fox. Dale Earnhardt Jr. leading Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Burton, and Jeff Gordon. Time for the Domino's Hot Lap this week. A new twist. The official pizza of NASCAR delivering the 00 Domino's Pizza Toyota to the Talladega race with a paint scheme based on a favorite Domino's pizza. Cast your vote for the paint scheme that you want to see on the car in Talladega. Text the letter of the corresponding paint scheme to Fox SP on your wireless phone. And a caution is out here at the Great American Speedway.
car out here of Gilliland's got a flat right front tire, bringing the caution out, Chris.
6 leaders, 9 different lead changes, and that would be our 4th caution of this race. Right now, let's check in with Jeff Hammond for our safety report.
Several years ago, NASCAR decided they need to paint the drive shafts white in the event that they came unhooked. The competitors could better avoid them. Also, they've added safety straps to keep that from happening. Another one up toward the front to better protect the driver. But they've gone one step better now with the COT car, and that is a totally enclosed drive shaft tunnel. Now, drive shaft should not be able to get to the racetrack if it falls down, but what we like more than anything else is the fact that it better protects the driver. These drive shafts are turning better than 16,000 RPM, and if one of them was to happen to come loose, well, if you can keep it enclosed and keep it off the racetrack, we can better protect not only the driver, the other fellow competitors, but the fans in the stands.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Let's head back upstairs for that safety report. And, Mike, check on who benefits most from these pit stops.
Well, Chris, there's no doubt when you look at cars like Juan Pablo Montoya, Carl Edwards, Tony Raines, they were just about to get lapped by Dale Earnhardt Jr. So, Darrell, you got to believe those guys were really wanting to see this caution flag here. I think Jeff Gordon was ready for one, too. We got the report. He felt like his front tires had completely gone away on that 24.
Oh, yeah. He was falling back quite a bit there just before that caution came out.
Dick Berggren.
Well, Kyle Busch will enter pit road in the 6th position, Mike. The car is just a little bit loose on throttle, but his biggest problem in this backup car is the seat doesn't fit him well, and he's got a backache as a result. And he said as soon as the race is over, he wants ice. But right now, he wants 4 tires and fuel. No changes to the chassis. Yet again, they have not put a wrench in this thing on several pit stops. Christoph.
Kurt Busch does need to make changes. In fact, they need to undo the changes they made on the last stop, plus add a little bit of air in the right rear. He needs more dig in the center of the turns. Matt.
Jimmy Johnson to give me more of what you gave me last time. It really improved the race car. That was a wedge and a track bar adjustment. Great stop by Burton's team as well. Small air pressure change to the front. Dale Earnhardt Jr. said, I appreciate what you guys have done for the car. It's gotten better. I'm just a little bit tight. So they reversed a tire pressure change as well. And Jeff Gordon said, as you mentioned, Larry Mack, my front tires are gone, guys. Do something to get it back the way it was before.
And Steve, I think they paid the price as far as the battle off pit road, but I'm sure maybe they took a little extra time to make those right adjustments.
Jeff Burton almost gained another spot in this race off pit road. Pretty close there. 212 complete in the Samsung 500.